to the quest for the Green Bowl, the rise of Azath. Of course, my Darkridge Dreamers won this past game of the week, so there'll be no guest this episode. And wow, what a victory it was, though. I mean, I needed a lot of points, over 120. AR's ayahuasca plant gave a valiant effort, over 100. But I just needed guys to step up. Nick Chubb, #1 running back in the league, baby, doing his thing. Kyler Murray finally stepping up. I've been waiting that for this whole season so far. Justin Jefferson did what he did in week 1, and he got a rushing touchdown to boot, so that was pretty good. Bouncing back with over 20 points. Love to see those things. And I kind of had some balance. I mean, Mike Williams did good. I had, Cordero Patterson reached the end zone before his injury, so that helped. Of course, Marquise Hollywood Brown caught a big touchdown from Kyler Murray, that double touchdown. I love that. The Packers defense did okay, and Gano has been solid at kicker. So it was a very solid performance by my Dreamers. Definitely loving it. And of course, I won the rivalry award, the Tree of Nani. This thing's awesome. I'm excited for this. It's one of those like money trees, supposed to bring you good luck, some wealth, obviously great in the fantasy football realm. But if you notice, the leaves are actually peridot, which is the birthstone of me and AR's ayahuasca plant's late grandmother, which we would call Nana or Nani. A great woman. We miss her dearly. This is kind of a symbol. This rivalry award is kind of a symbol for Nani, and we definitely miss and love you, Nani. So I will cherish this for the year, and hopefully it brings me good luck to get a Green Bowl championship. It's what we all play this for. These rivalry awards are nice, but we want that green. I want the Green Bowl right here. I want it here, right here. I could drink from it too. It would be great. But it was definitely fun. It's always great to be in these things. And as someone who does this show, I don't always get to celebrate my wins as much. I like to share the celebrations, let everybody else show how much they're having fun. But my treat for you this week, since I don't have a guest, is to go over some things that have been in the NFL news lately, some of them dealing with fantasy, some of them not. In one of my most popular segments from last season, the good, the bad, and the idiotic. It has been a crazy 4 weeks of NFL action, to say the least. And for fans or fantasy football players, that usually equals a lot of fun. We have had wild comebacks, high-scoring and low-scoring games. The witching hour on Red Zone has been pretty crazy. So many games within a score by the fourth quarter. It's almost overwhelming at times. Some of the best so far. We had the Miami comeback against Baltimore, the Jets comeback against Cleveland. These are great. Both matchups affected fantasy scores in our league. And to me, this is so good for fantasy football and football in general. It draws in everyone, maybe even those who are more sports fans as opposed to being fans of a team or just of the sport football. It makes us fantasy players have an interesting reaction, of course. I can't remember the last time so many matchups in our league were being decided on Monday night. In fact, I'm 4-0 this year and only felt safe in one of those games. I feel like there were moments I could have lost. The Arizona comeback against Oakland in week 2 had many of these moments where I had an erratic heartbeat. A Kyler Murray rushing touchdown with no time left. If that doesn't happen, I might lose that week. That's how crazy it is. And this is why we play. This is why we all play. That's why we love fantasy football. And now there have been some things that still perplex and annoy me. Coaches with static offenses doing the same thing or not getting the best players involved. Denver has a beast of a tight end and gets no targets. I'm talking about Alberto. Running back committees drive us all mad. Teams going for it on 4th and 1 and not giving it to their bruising running back. They do something stupid or a trick play. Team's not stopping the run, even though the other team is on a third-string quarterback, and you know they're just going to run it up the middle because that's the only thing the team can do. I'm looking at you, Packers. Overall, we've been seeing some terrible coaching decisions so far, and I would say it's pretty bad. Seriously, I mean, there are times when I feel like I would be a better coach making better plays, and I have no business being an NFL coach. That's insane to even say. That definitely shouldn't be. But obvious calls and decisions are not being made, and it usually leads to extreme blunders. These same coaches are on the hot seat, like we see it. It also leads to individual players suffering as well. In fact, has anyone noticed how bad the first-round fantasy picks have been so far? Let's go over these. First overall pick, Jonathan Taylor, not even in the top 25 for non-quarterback points. We're talking about the first overall pick, and now he's injured, so he's going to miss a game. Second pick, Christian McCaffrey, 16th overall for non-quarterbacks, which is just nuts. He's their best player on Carolina. He's not getting the ball as much, and only has a couple of opportunities for touchdowns. I just don't understand. Fourth pick, Austin Eckler, even with a 3-touchdown performance this last week that was like kind of his bounce back game, still only 19th overall for non-quarterbacks. We're talking about a top 5 pick. That's insanity. 7th pick, Delvin Cook, not in the top 25. 8th pick, Joe Mixon, not in the top 25. 9th pick, Devontae Adams, just 23rd overall. 11th pick, Jamar Chase, not in the top 25. One of the biggest disappointments. I mean, I thought Chase was going to be a top 5 pick, and he dropped to 11th. I'm thinking Uncle Justy got a steal. He got a steal. Nope, he did not get a steal. Uncle Justy is hoping Chase bounces back. I mean, we know he's got potential, and we know he could be a beast. But you're definitely not getting the value you want with your 11th pick if they're not even in the top 25 in points. That's just terrible. To be honest, in terms of first-round picks, Barkley and Diggs have been the best. Kupp and Jefferson have been good. They've been pretty good too, though Jefferson had a couple of duds for me. In weeks 2 and 3, a little bit of an inconsistent start. Derrick Henry has had back-to-back good outings, so also looking like a good first-round pick. But this weird production we're getting has definitely turned the preseason computer-projected rankings on its head. But it's not all bad. There have been some nice individual performances by rookies. Dameon Pierce, Breece Hall, and Drake London are beginning to see production and have had some nice games recently. Tyler Algier gets a chance in Atlanta and did look decent with limited work in week 4. Rashad White, Jahan Dotson, Chris Olave, even Daniel Bellinger, the tight end, they've all shown some signs of making an impact this season. And then you got George Pickens, wide receiver for the Steelers. He showed off his ridiculous skill, making some crazy one-handed catch. Now he gets another rookie and quarterback, Kenny Pickett, to throw to him. That might actually help in the long run, as anyone from Chicago knows Mitch Trubisky is trash, but Kenny Pickett's probably going to be better for Pickens in the long run. Whenever you get awesome rookie performances like this, it is good. Good for fantasy, good for the NFL, good for the future. But one thing that's not good for the future, concussions. I'm sure everyone has seen the replays and the photos of the horrific incident with Tua Tagovailoa from last Thursday's game against the Bengals. Tagovailoa was twisted on a sack, thrown to the ground where he hit his head in a strange way. What happened next was the scariest thing you can see with head trauma, the fencing response. That's when arms go into an unnatural position and last several seconds after a collision usually associated with a traumatic brain injury. Tagovailoa had this response with his hands outward, his fingers twisting in strange ways while on the ground. One doctor said that Tagovailoa should retire from football to protect his brain after seeing this. Another said he could have died. I mean, this is no joke, and this is a sad reality of this game. He didn't have brain bleeding or anything reportedly caught on an MRI from news reports, but this may have been avoided. That's the crazy thing. The Dolphins were investigated by the NFL, and it will bring with it changes in the concussion protocol in the entire league. Not sure if there will be consequences for the Dolphins, but Tagovailoa allegedly had a concussion in a game the previous week against the Bills where he missed some time before re-entering the game. He was sacked, looked to have possibly hit his head, but he somehow cleared the protocol, came back and played. If this is true, then he should not have come back in and should have possibly been held out in a game that happened just a few days later on a Thursday night. It's not like he had a whole week to rest. We really need to be better at treating concussions with the seriousness that they deserve. And the NFL cannot let this go unpunished, in my opinion. If the Dolphins knew of a potential concussion, the possibility, even if it was possible, and they just said that he cleared it, letting a player come back after a potential head injury is bad. Having that same player then play just a few days later, well, that's just plain idiotic. And let's hope we see some smarter decisions so we can get back to talking about the game and the results, all the things we love. And that's the content for the week, everyone. We continue our quest with new episodes Wednesday, Thursday, and Sunday and next week. Until next time, salut. Before you go, remind yourself of our Game of the Week schedule and results.